بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Let's talk about فعل الأمر وفاعله, the command verb and its doer. First of all, what is the command verb? The command verb is the third type of verb in the Arabic language. There are only three types: the past, al-madi, the present, al-mudari, and fi'l al-amr, the command verb. fi'l al-amri yutlabu bihi. Yutlabu bihi means sought with it. Husulu shay'in, completion of something. Husul means achievement or completion or performance of something. في الزمن المستقبل, in the future. So you have the past for the past, and you have the present for the present. And as we learned earlier, sometimes the present can switch to the future, depending on those particular context clues that we discussed. And then you have the fi'l al-amr, which is for the future. For anta, you say ishrab. The fa'il is dhamir mustatir. And the reason why this is in the future, al-mustaqbal, is because if I tell you drink, when will you drink? In the past? No. Now, not at the time when I'm speaking. You'll drink right after now, even if it's a second after now. Anything after now is future, whether it's 1 second or a million years. Anything after now is future. For singular feminine, you say ishrabi, ishrabi, ishrab, ishrabi, and the fa'il is, as usual, it's in red, and it's dhamir muttasil. So the fa'il for anti is dhamir muttasil. The ya literally is the fa'il, and it has the same meaning as anti. You can think of ya as the connected version of anti. The ya is a dhamir muttasil, connected pronoun, whereas anta is not mentioned. It's understood, it's implied. There's no red here. And the alif that you see here, which is in green, represents hamzatul wasl. Hamzatul wasl. And this hamzatul wasl is something we studied in Easy Introduction to Arabic, Book 1. And for those of you who have forgotten it, on the next page, there's a review. And you can go through that, inshallah. And we will talk about, let's finish this chapter first. And then on the next page, we'll look at this beautiful concept called hamzatul wasl. So for now, it's just an alif with a kasra. And the fi'l al-amr always begins, as you can see, in all of these examples, the fi'l al-amr begins with the green alif with a kasra. And that's the default. The fi'l al-amr for the basic verbs, which are the form 1 verbs, they all begin with a green alif with a kasra. There's an exception where it begins with a dhamma on the alif, and we'll talk about that, inshallah, shortly. So how do you tell singular masculine, a boy, for example, to drink? You say ishrab. For a girl, you say ishrabi. For two people, you say ishraba. And you can see the red alif is literally the doer pronoun, and of course it means antuma. Okay, the alif means antuma. So you can think of this alif as the connected version of antuma, same meaning. And then for antum, you have ishrabu. You've got the green alif, which is hamzatul wasl. You've got the black verb. You've got the red doer pronoun, wow. and you got the blue alif, which is al-alif al-fariqa. This alif we've seen before, right? When did we see al-alif al-fariqa? When was the last time we saw it? That's right, we saw it in al-fi'l al-madi. So it's the same blue alif, and it's silent, and it's called al-alif al-fariqa. It's written but not pronounced, so you'll never hear it. You don't say ishrabuwa, that's wrong. You just say ishrabu, as if it's not there. As if it's not there. And when do you put this blue alif or al-alif al-fariqa? You always put it if the red waw is the last thing in a verb. You have to put it there to prevent possible misread. There are situations that we come across, and we will learn some of those situations in the next class, Quranic Linguistics Level 2, where having this green alif is absolutely necessary to prevent misreading. It's written only and not pronounced or heard. So if you're an Arab person and you know how to speak Arabic, but you don't know how to read and write Arabic, you don't know anything about this alif fariqa, the blue alif. You just say ishrabu. The waw again means antum. The waw is the connected version of antum. And of course, it's damir muttasil. You can see damir muttasil for anti, antuma, and antum. For anta, the Arabs decided to do damir mustatir because it's used a lot. They wanted to make it easier. And finally, we have ishrabna, ishrabna for antunna, where na is literally the doer. It's the doer pronoun, and it has the same meaning as antunna. It's the connected version of antunna. So na, when connected to ishrabna, has the same meaning as antunna. And of course, it's damir muttasil. So what are the possibilities for the pronouns for the commanding verb? The possibilities are damir mustatir and damir muttasil. Another thing you may have noticed is that it's all for, there's nothing here in this table for ana, nahnu. For the mutakallim, for the first person, the amr does not apply. Similarly, another thing I'm sure you have noticed is that there's nothing for huwa, hiya, huma, hum, hunna. All we have is anta, anti, antuma, antum, antunna, the second person. Again, the commanding verb, fi'l amr, does not apply to third person pronouns like huwa, hiya, huma, hum, hunna. And it also does not apply to first person pronouns like ana and nahnu. It only works for these. So how do you command someone who is absent, or how do you command yourself? You use another grammatical concept called lamul amr, which we will study in QL2, the next level, Quranic Linguistics Level 2, Introductory Arabic Grammar. In this level, we will not concern ourselves with that because that's grammar. Our main objective in this course is a sarf, morphology, and just enough grammar to make sense of the morphology. Now, the next set of examples are very interesting. They're somewhat surprising. For anta, you can say ishrab ya zaydu. If I'm talking to Zayd, where's the fa'il? A lot of people mistakenly believe that Zayd is the fa'il. It's not. Zayd is something called vocative in Arabic grammar. We don't need to worry about the vocatives. The point that I'm trying to make here is that ishrab, the fa'il, is still anta mustatir, just like here. So just because I added ya Khalidu or ya Zaydu, it doesn't mean the fa'il is now what's after the word ya. No. What's after the word ya is called vocative or al-munada, but we will not worry about that in this level, inshallah. We'll talk about it later on in the Quranic Linguistics series. And similarly, if you say ishrabi ya Fatima, the fa'il is still ya. So it's just like here, ishrabi ya, the same thing here. Fatima is not the fa'il. Be careful. It's a common mistake. Fatima is the vocative. The person you're calling is just the person you're calling. It's not the fa'il. The fa'il is still the ya and lamir muttasil. Okay? It's very important to distinguish that. تنبيه فاعل الأمر يأتي ضميرا متصلا, it comes as connected pronoun, أو مستترا, as we saw, كما مثل, let's put that there, as exemplified, كما مثل, لا اسما ظاهرا. The fa'il of commanding verb is never ism zahir. What's an ism zahir? Basically, ism zahir is things like Zaid, Fatima, Muslimun, a non-pronoun word. So this is an important observation and rule to note. Yeah. The second important point to note is harakatul fa wal ain kal mudari'. What this is saying is that the haraka of the fa letter, which is the first root letter, and the ain, which is the second root letter, is going to be same as mudari. So what does that mean? What that means is if you look at the haraka of the first root letter of this amr, it's sukoon. And this is the same for mudari. You will see that the sheen of mudari, or the fa, which is the first root letter, also has a sukoon. Let's go to mudari to better compare and see how al-amr is extracted from mudari. This is mudari tashrabu for anta. What would the amr be? The amr is ishrab. You put that alif there in the beginning, you delete the ta. So let me do it this way. I'm going to literally copy this and change the mudari. So this is mudari. To make the amr, you delete the ta of mudari, you put the green alif, and then you put the sukoon at the end. You get ishrab. So you notice how the sheen ra have a sukoon fatha. Same thing here. Sheen ra have a sukoon fatha. So that's exactly what that rule is saying when it says harakatul fa wal ain kal mudari. The haraka of the first and second root letters are just like mudari. Let's take this and apply the same rule here. So I'm going to take this mudari, put it here, delete the ta, replace it with hamzatul wasl, and delete the noon. I get ishrabi. So you can see again the sheen and ra here, sukoon fatha, have the same haraka here, sheen ra. Same thing here. Let's take this mudari and convert it into al-amr. You put the alif, hamzatul wasl, delete the ta, and you delete that ending. You get ishraba. You always delete the noon from these three. Let's take the shrabuna, copy it here, delete the ta, add the hamzatul alif, the green alif, and delete the noon, ishrabu. Now remember the silent alif, it's required here because whenever the waw is the last letter in a verb, you have to put that silent alif, which is the blue alif. So you have ishrabu now, and of course the alif is silent, and it's called al-alif al-fariqa. Okay, and then let's go on to tashrabna. For tashrabna, we play the same game again. We copy our mudari, delete the ta, replace it with al-alif al-fariqa, the green alif, and that's it. Don't delete the noon, because this noon is the doer pronoun. You can't delete it. Whereas the noons that we deleted here are not doer pronouns. That's how you can extract al-amr out of mudari. So much so that some grammar books say al-amr is just an extension of mudari. Let's go back to our chapter on al-amr. Harakatul fa wal ain kal mudari. The fa and ain of amr follow the harakas of the fa and the ain of amr follow the matching harakas of al-mudari. Next, you have a challenge. How many hidden invisible pronouns, which is dhamir mustatir in Surah Al-Fatiha? If you know the answer, or if you think you know the answer, make a comment and I will respond, inshallah. And in the next lesson, we will look at Hamzul Wasl, which is that green alif, and what the haraka should be, and when is it pronounced and when is it not pronounced. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursaleen, Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Forgot to mention that there is practice. Please complete this practice here, where you have fi'l al-amr and you identify its fa'il and the naw al-fa'il. Same thing here, and then check your answers using the online answer keys. And then when you're done, you'll be ready to take the quiz for the command verb. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursaleen, Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een.